Hard Reset Redux review. What's it really worth? Hard Reset Redux is a first-person shooter video game developed by Flying Wild Hog and published by Flying Wild Hog and Gamebitious Digital Entertainment. And today, I'm going to be doing a full review of the game and give you my thoughts on what was good, what was bad, and what I think this game is really worth. Hard Reset Redux was released on PS4 and Xbox One on June 3rd, 2016, and on Windows on September 13, 2011. You play as Major Fletcher, is a soldier of CLN, a corporate combat unit established to protect the city from machines that are trying to take over and destroy all human life. Now let's break this game down and see what it's all about. Graphics. I played it on the PS4 and it looks pretty good. For an arcade indie title that's only $20, it's running at a 1080p 60 frames per second. Now it had the occasional freeze here and there, but it only happened when it was saving or you hit a checkpoint. But it's really for maybe like less than a second and it's really quick, so it's not really that bad. And during the cutscenes, they have a comic book style animation to describe the story a bit more, which is pretty cool. Music. It's kind of hard to describe the music. There's something there, but it's very faint, and you can't hear it that much. Mind you, in this game, that's not a bad thing, because it adds to the creepy machine, steampunk-like atmosphere. The only time I noticed music really present was when you fight a huge wave of enemies. Then it really picks up into a rock-like sound. Kinda like Doom, but not as hardcore. It's just there to add a more intense kind of feeling to the battle, and knowing that, hey, I'm about to fight a big wave and I better get ready. Story. The story is pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy or hard to understand. The world as we know it ceased to exist. Humanity is at the verge of extinction, living in the last closed city of Benzor. Mankind wages war against the machines controlling vast areas of what became the Barrens. Machines want to control and assimilate the Sanctuary, a network that holds billions of digitalized human minds. You play as Major Fletcher, a soldier of CLN, a corporation combat unit established to protect the city, and you must stop the machines at all costs before they destroy all life. Now I'm sure there's some twists in the story, but you're gonna have to play and find out what those are. Content. So since this is just an arcade indie title game, there's not really much content to it. So you have the campaign, obviously, EX mode, where when you beat the campaign, you can play through it again with all your upgrades. Heroic mode, where you do the campaign again, but on the hardest difficulty. On this difficulty, anytime you die, you have to restart the whole level. There's no checkpoints, and the only save points is when you beat the stage. And then there's survival mode, where you go play against endless waves of enemies until you die. And then depending on your score, or your score obviously, it goes up on the leaderboards, and that's pretty much it. So like I said before, for a $20 game, you can't expect too much content. Gameplay. Alright, so now for the gameplay. Honestly, it's really not that bad. For a first-person shooter, it's kind of like Quake, Unreal Tournament. It has that kind of feel to it. You go around destroying robots, finding secret areas which are actually pretty easy to spot with huge cracks in the walls, or just taking your time to find them. There are environmental hazards you can use as well to destroy the robots, which in my opinion helps a lot when there are a lot of them running at you. Now in most first-person shooter games like this, you normally have a bunch of guns you can get, but they did something different in this one. You only have 2 guns and later on a katana, but you upgrade the guns with add-ons to change what they are. You start with an assault rifle, that you change into a shotgun or even a grenade launcher depending on what add-on you want to purchase. And same goes for your second gun, the plasma rifle, which can turn into a railgun or have a stasis modules. The enemy machines aren't too bad looking, but could be a little better. They just look really plain to me. But like most FPSs, like this one, they gradually get harder and different as you get further in the campaign. Now the level design isn't bad, but what you see in the first level is just repeated over and over again with new buildings and layouts. It kinda sucked seeing the same thing over and over again, especially with the campaign being between 7 to 8 hours. Alright, so now let's get down to the final verdict on what I think this game is really worth. So for the PS4 and the Xbox One, it's only $20. So for everything you get, a 7 to 8 hour campaign, only $20, a great 1080p 60 frames per second graphics, not much content but replayable, straightforward story, old school feeling FPS, level design and enemies are bland and boring. So really for a $20 game, it's pretty fun. Like, I enjoyed it. It's simple. It brings me back to the classic FPS days, like I said, Quake and Unreal Tournament. And even though Doom did just release not too long ago, I mean, this is basically like a cheaper version of that if you don't feel like cashing out the money for Doom. Like, honestly, I can't really say much about it. Like, I just had fun playing it. It wasn't too long, wasn't too short. I got what I paid for, 20 bucks. I would honestly recommend picking it up if you really want to, or if you've seen pictures of it. Go ahead. I don't think you'll really be disappointed. Alright guys, well, I'm going to end my review there of Hard Reset Redux, and I hope you enjoyed. Now if you're new to my channel, I'll put my logo on the screen so you can click on that. It'll bring you over to my channel. You can see all the rest of my content and what I'm all about. And if you want to see the gameplay that went with this review, I'll put a card up top so you can click on that and go ahead and go watch that. It's really cool. You're going to love it. So like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think of the game and of your review. Let me know in the comment section below. You know, let me know down below. You know you gotta do, you know to do it. Peace out, guys. Cha! On PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, Xbox One, and Windows on May 31st, 2016. You play as Luffy in the Paramount War, aka the Marineford arc, for any One Piece fan, who attempts to save